Heyo everyone, this is a HappyAnimaidCafeManager here with another walkthrough episode for the game Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Anyway, since there's not going to be much room left on my camcorder, so this will be another short video. So let's see the events unfold. Juan Correa's real killer. Miss Andrews' past. The kidnapper whose sole condition is an acquittal for Mr. Ungard. In his card, Shelly the killer. Maya, the only way I can save you now is to find all the answers to this case tonight. I understand what your real intentions are at Edgeworth, but as you said, all I can do for now is find the truth. To be continued, baby. March 22nd, 9:14 p.m. Gatewater Hotel, Korea's hotel room. It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Mystic Maya. These things take time. I'd say probably not. The police are professionals, Pearl. They'll find her, so don't you worry. And if we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. You're right. The real killer. So the real person who killed Mr. Correa was that assassin, Mr. Shelley the killer, right? In that car, Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. Well, if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who is the one that hired the killer to begin with? Who is his client? You mean, who asked for the murder? The person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood. But whoever this client is, they're still a killer. The assassin's client. Who could have hired the assassin? Do you think it was Miss Andrews? I wonder. But if she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse himself? But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then no, it can't be. Mr. Ungard himself. Was it Matt? If Mr. Ungard really did hire the assassin, then he is not innocent at all. Far from it. He would be guilty of the crime. But it can't be Mr. Ungard, right? I mean, we first talked with him. Mr. Ungard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Juan Correa? Alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Juan Correa, okay? I didn't see any psych locks at that time. Actually, that reminds me. Did you remember something, Mr. Nick? Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting. So what is this interesting thing? Oh, that's right, you didn't hear it, did you, Pearl? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Mr. Ungard's secret? Well, what is this secret? I don't know yet. But for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Correa was going to reveal the secret. That means Mr. Ungard had plenty of motive to have Mr. Correa silenced. Which means we have to meet with Mr. Ungard. There's no way around it now. March 22nd, that same night, Gatewater Hotel hallway. Wow, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it's past 9 p.m. already, but we still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. There's still the matter of the secret Mr. Korea held about Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews' real intentions. These are two things I must know tonight. But aren't visiting hours over at the detention center? I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. Hey, wait! What is it, whippersnapper? All I know is nothing that has anything to do with you is that ever good. Like just now, I was handed this strange device for who knows what reason. And I was told to use it to search the whole hotel. That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made. I don't know what, and frankly I don't care, but the request came from Edgypoo, so Edgeworth. And he said, if you feel angry, direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer. So I'm going to feel free to direct all my anger towards you. Gee, thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. Bug Sweeper. This is absolutely top secret, so you'd better keep it to yourself. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of the presents. Very interesting. I'm sure it was, you know. It was to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting. Scandalous? What's that? It means, well, you know, that gossip that's been going around about my dear Juan. Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews? Well, I'm sure she must have had a reason for getting close to Mr. Corita. I'll let you in on another secret, young'un. I know who planned that spy camera. It was that obnoxious puppy-haired photographer girl. The nerve of some people. Spying on people by herself as if I wouldn't want to see it for myself too. Wow, the alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change. I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I can bet that it's nothing good. But I didn't say anything. Juan and Adrian. So you want to know about Juan and that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, there was something of a refreshing pair, those two. Oh, I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard. That manager, who are you talking about? You don't know that manager woman Juan had? It's a shame she killed herself, though. Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impact, Miss Andrews' mentor, right? Yes, that's the one. That Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know. But married? You mean to Mr. Corita? Really, you young kids today don't know anything, do you? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days ago, after their marriage announcement. 3 days after their marriage announcement. Why in the Celeste's suicide? Why would Miss Impact want to kill herself? She was going to get married. Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan. What? But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right? They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage. Is that true? It was in a weekly magazine. But why? Why did he do that? That was not in the magazines, unfortunately. I see. That night, after Juan called off the wedding, that manager Celeste killed herself. How terrible. I wonder what happened between those two. Alright, the hotel lobby. On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. I guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. Looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. Police Station Criminal Affairs Department. It feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened. You're Mr. Ungard's lawyer, right? Yes, sir. Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness. A decisive witness? You mean for Mr. Ungard's case? We're taking the witness's statement right now. Got handed to Mr. Edgeworth. What's Edgeworth up to now? Who is this witness? I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer. Mr. Nick, between the kidnapper's demand and now this, I can't see any way to win here. Oh yeah, Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something. He did? Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission, so there you go. Eh? I've already called them so they know. Go on, go talk to your heart's content. Thank you very much. This is such good news, Mr. Nick. Go talk to your heart's content. It sounds like the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag. Detention center visitors room. I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews are in this detention center. And now then, whose story do I want to hear? Can I at least hear what Miss Andrews has to say? Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to be visiting at such a late hour, but there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was masked. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about the secret Mr. Correa had on Mr. Ungard. I'd like to ask you about Matt Ungard if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. Ungard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? And why would you want to become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. Celeste Impact. About Miss Celeste Impact, I finally put her death behind me. And now thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. I'm sorry. That same picture again. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. And it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back and to burn it. You wanted to burn it, but why? I didn't want it to spread just like another piece of gossip, but I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I would never do something so stupid. The suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why frame him? Why did you try to frame Mr. Ungard? That's simple, because he's the killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? But there had to be another way. The police are excellent at doing their job, so they figure it out, right? Yes, they're so good at what? Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death. And Miss Andrews, well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason. So please tell me, why did you please tell me why you did what you did. Revenge. Huh? Did you say something just now? A psychologue, huh? Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer, to be honest. You're more like my enemy. But I'm sure I just heard Miss Andrews say revenge. It was near Juan's dead body. I noticed it when I went to fill the glass, and then I realized that Juan was dead. I completely panicked. That's why I must have unconsciously picked this card up and put it in my pocket. As for why, I simply don't know. It doesn't look like Mr. Scruffy Detective is here. Well, he's out there with that camera asking around at all the electronic stores. They'll make a salad for him for dinner. Looks like Peraltus really appreciates what Gumshoe is doing for us. Mr. Nick? Huh? Yes? Where's the lettuce? I don't think I ever bought lettuce before. Oh, I guess I have to give up on making a salad then. I guess the lack of lettuce is kind of a problem. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Matt on guard? Dude, it's Mr. Wright. I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. I hope so too. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me and said that Juan Corrida was killed by an assassin and that the assassin's client is this man. Matt on guard. What's wrong? Mr. on guard? There is something I must know about with 100% certainty. You seem kind of different. You're totally not like your usual lawyer dude self. About the press conference. You mean the one where Juan was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai? Yeah. I heard a little more about it from Miss Andrews. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Could you please fill me on what the secret is, please? I knew this was coming. Mr. Nick, don't tell me. A Cyclops. You said a secret, right? But you don't have any idea what it is, do you, dude? Juan and Adrian? Did you know about Mr. Corrida and Miss Andrews' relationship? Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life. And Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Corrida. Her mentor was Mr. Corrida's manager, and Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste Impact's suicide note from him. Celeste? Does that jog any memories? Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for a pizza? My treat. Mr. Nick, what's a pizza? Is it a kind of pea like green peas? Let's go eat one later, okay? I got cut off by the pizza dude at the shop. That's too bad. Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? Mr. On guard, are you connected to Miss Impact's suicide in some way? I'm almost out of time anyway, so thanks for watching. Until next time, to be continued, baby. Well, anyway, that's the last video I'm going to make for tonight.